Thank you so much, Jack.
Yes.
Good to hear interesting original songs by our favorite singers. That's an interesting encore. Well, it is my great pleasure to welcome our guest minister for today, Reverend John Washington. And I left all my wonderful notes at home, so I may ask him to add unto what I've got for you.
All right.
But he also is a Reiki master. He also is the minister at Chatsworth, California, which I had to look up. Where the heck is Chatsworth? It's on the north end of Los Angeles, way up northwest of LA
Ventura
and
County.
Burbank. And then he comes down here to San Diego. So, wow, this is cool. I'm so glad that you come down and join us.
Yes.
Even sometimes when he's not speaking, he comes down and joins us.
That's right.
Even better. All right. So he and Michelle are here today. I think, are you going to help him with the class?
Yes, she is.
Yeah, and she helps him with the meditation. What a pair. What a team.
Yes.
So, would you please welcome Reverend John Washington. And then if you change it to your first, for your first screen.
Okay. There you go. Thank you. Good morning. And God bless you. It's a beautiful day in my consciousness. It's what we like to greet our Sunday morning group with. So we're going to say that together 3 times, together enthusiastically. It's a beautiful day in my consciousness. One more time. It's a beautiful day in my consciousness. One last time. It's a beautiful day in my consciousness. Truly, 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 we are delighted to be here today with all of you here at this. This is quite the spiritual community. You are very special. I'm not sure you are aware of how special you really are. So we are delighted to be here and to be part of all this specialness. Yes. For the truth is, this is the day that the Lord hath made. And we will rejoice and be glad in it. Yes, I'm wearing the color blue today, as I notice Sunshine also is wearing blue, a deeper blue. Blue is all about faith today, so our question for you is, have faith? Do you have faith today?
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. At Unity Church of Chatsworth, that's up in equestrian country, and some folks say that's cowboy country up there. That's cowboy country up there, yes. We meet at the community center there where, oh my goodness, it's Roy Rogers. Thank you, Michelle. Roy Rogers and Dale Evans were the honorary mayors up there, and they made a lot of movies up there too. So we're delighted to be here today to say hello to you all. We start our morning service with a Sunday smile, and we're going to I heard someone say howdy. We're going to have Michelle come up. She's going to smile because the healing power of joy is the title of today's lesson. Michelle.
Yes, and when we talk about the healing power of joy, we figure out where's the best place to get joy. It's right there in that laughter that you have. So we got to start out with something funny. So these newlyweds were on their honeymoon, and young man woke up in the morning and he said to his wife, "Honey, why don't you get up and brew us some coffee?" And she said, looking very confused, she said, "Oh, but honey, that's your job." And he said, "Really?" And she said, "Yes, that's right in the Bible." He looks confused at her and he says, I don't know where in the Bible it says that husbands have to get up in the morning and brew their wives coffee." And she said, "Oh, wait a minute, get the Bible over here." She pulls it over, she starts flipping through the pages, and she said, "See, it's written all over the Bible. Hebrews.
Thank you. We need one more. One more.
Yes. See, Chuck puts me on kind of jokes in case they don't go over. Okay, so this one, for some reason or other, we picked out all relationship jokes this morning.
Yes.
I'm not sure why.
Yes.
So a husband is saying to his wife, darling, we're going to be married for 10 years very soon. And he says, you know, I would love to buy you a new car for our anniversary. And she said, oh dear, nothing would please me more. So he bought her nothing.
Thank you. Thank you, Michelle. Give her an applause. Give her an applause. Our co-founders are on the screen, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore. And as I look at Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, they're almost holding hands. So we're going to talk about something called the mystical marriage of thinking and feeling. We know Charles Fillmore. How many of you know the quote? I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm as I spring forth with a mighty faith to do the things that ought to be done by me. And that dear one on the right side, many of us know unity or came into unity because of the quote on the left side of the screen. I am a child of God. Therefore, I do not inherit sickness. Well, we know that Myrtle Fillmore was diagnosed with and informed that she had tuberculosis in her 30s and 40s, I'm going to say. I'm paraphrasing now. She had tuberculosis and she probably wouldn't live beyond a certain age. Well, we all know that she sat down with herself and her God and started affirmatively, prayerfully saying, I am a child of God. I am a spiritual being. I am a spiritual being. Together. I am a spiritual being. I am a spiritual being, and therefore I do not inherit sickness. No matter what that sickness might be, or that sense of lack might be. It might be not having a job. It might be not being able to get along with those grandchildren. It might be not being able to get along with a neighbor. Whatever the challenge is, I am a spiritual being. I am a spiritual being, and I can grow, I can be encouraged, I can transform my situation and my life with God's help. With God's help. We all know this story of the delightful couple, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, and yet we have moments of fear. For God hath not given us a spirit of fear, but power, of love, and a sound mind. God has not given us a spirit of fear, and yet sometimes we're fearful because someone else gave us that. Through association, or through work, or through sometimes those well-meaning friends. God hath not given us a spirit of fear. I'm going to tell you my story in a moment. When I saw this picture, this was at the Unity website, by the way. I saw this picture and I thought of all of you. Here, Unity of Carlsbad. And there's a reason. Look around the room right now and make eye contact with at least 3 people. I'm going to pause for a moment. With at least 3 people. And then as you look back up here, this is a spiritual community. A community that encourages and inspires one another. Thank you so much for the daily word today, the reading of the daily word, very inspirational. Sunshine, you're always an inspiration. Oh my goodness, Joni back there in the back. Such an inspiration. And you need to know that. You're very special here. I can see this community growing and blessing others as you're blessing others right now. We have a guest with us today. I hope you're so encouraged today. I'm going to be authentic and tell my healing story, my Myrtle Fillmore story. Maybe a story that, I'll talk to Ken in a minute, but once upon a time when I was, oh my goodness, speaking at the Battle Creek Church. Battle Creek Unity Church, Fred Leslie, we're almost related, by the way. Ken and I. Fred Leslie, licensed Unity teacher, said to me when I met him, "You're from that big Unity church, that church where Jack Boland is the minister. You're here for the first time?" He said, "Guess what? John, you're speaking next Sunday." He said, you're speaking next Sunday. And I said, okay, all right, I'll think about, check my notes. I had attended Unity, the world's largest Unity church at the time. And I said, you know, one day I'm going to go to Unity school and I'm going to prepare and I'm going to become a Unity minister. But in the meantime, you know, life is happening. So years later, my goodness, I found myself, I had a great job working at Kellogg Company in Battle Creek and then at Lansing Community College. I doubled my income in 2 years. I started thinking about my 401k and how much money I was putting away. And you know, those things happen, you know, that's life, right? That's life. So I went into my doctor's office at the beginning of the fall semester, and he took a series of x-rays. He took a chest x-ray and a few others. And he said, "Professor Washington, I need to have a counsel with you. If your wife is with you, bring her in." And he said, "Our x-rays are showing something's going on right here. There is a mass that shouldn't be there." I said, "Oh?" You know, the first impulse is to say, when someone mentions that word beginning with the C, why me, Lord? why not someone else? You know, I'm still, you know, I want to finish doing what I'm doing, and I want to go to ministerial school too, but, and then I thought, I am a spiritual being. I do not inherit sickness. I do not, after the first needle biopsy, I began to do something a little interesting. Some of you might relate to this. I started smiling. And I started saying, "Thank you so much," to the nurse. And after the next, I went to Michigan State University. They put me in this big room with this big machine. It was some kind of nuclear test. And it rotated and made funny sounds. And while that was going on, I said, "Thank you so much," to the nurses and to the doctors who were there. Many of them had names I couldn't pronounce. But I smiled anyway. And the last biopsy performed was with dyes. They actually injected dyes. And when the needle went in, I said, "Ouch! Thank you so much. Thank you so much. God bless you. God bless you." And on the day, it was toward Halloween, and so I remember the assembly of doctors and surgeons in the room, and as they gathered around, I said, "I need to tell you all a joke." Again, it was Halloween. And you know, that community, they weren't smiling like this. I'm not sure how many of you have experienced that. When you go into the doctor's office, they're not smiling, okay? But they were not smiling, and they didn't look too encouraging. 50-50, I was told, and I took a deep breath. And by the way, that morning I was thanking the parking lot attendant and the people in security, and God bless you all, and people who were waxing the floor. I said, "God, you're doing a great job. You're doing a great job." I was calling upon my spiritual powers and gifts to alter or at least assist the situation that I found myself in, because all of you know what I'm talking about. In the human, I was in a tight spot. Anybody ever been in a tight spot before? Okay. So again, the person, the anesthesiologist, I can recall them saying, "All right, what do you want to say to us? We want you to start counting backwards at 99, 98, 97. I said, excuse me, but what do you call a hot dog at Halloween? And they all said, what? A Halloweenie. Halloweenie. 95, 94. When I came to, my darling wife was smiling there. I said, oh dear, you look so beautiful today. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be anywhere today. Yes. Yes, and my surgeon, Lakshmi Pati Karetti was his name. Best of the best. The best surgeon, Michigan State University, was performing, and he said, we have removed the mast. It was the size of a tennis ball. And the fingers were wrapped around. And my medical people today, something about false positive, false negative. They mentioned these words. I didn't know what they were talking about. Oh, we do have a medical person, okay? But he said, we removed it all, and it was benign. It was benign. And so I remember, again, that promise I made to God and to Fred Leslie and the gang there in Battle Creek. Fred Leslie was uncle to Ken Harrison, related family member. So here we are full circle, and I remembered saying, I'm going to ministerial school. I'm going to ministerial school. I don't know what I'm going to do or how I'm going to pay for it. That kind of thing. The problem comes up sometimes. Where's the money coming from? And I smiled and I just said, God is the source of my supply. My good comes to me now through many channels. Mysterious though they may be, my good comes to me now through many channels. Laugh away your fears. We're going to hear about that in a moment from Jesus Christ Heals. One of my first classes in ministerial school was a book called Jesus Christ Heals. Laughing away your fears. We're going to have Michelle come up now. And dear, I have it for you. Yes. You got yours? All right. Michelle's going to read from Jesus Christ Heals.
Jesus Christ Heals by Charles Fillmore. And this particular reading comes from the chapter called The Healing Power of Joy. I rejoice and am glad because thy harmonizing love makes me every whit whole. All healing systems recognize joy as a beneficent factor in the restoration of health to the sick. The joy of Jehovah is your strength. This statement is based on a principle recognized by all who help to bring about strength of mind and health of body. An old country doctor used to tell how he healed a woman of a large cyst by telling her a funny story, at which she laughed so heartily that the fluid broke loose and passed away. These are various methods of erasing fear from the mind and preventing its congestion in the body. One of the most direct and effective shatterers of fear is laughter. Laugh your fears away. See how ridiculous they are when traced to their source.
Thank you, Michelle. Yes. From Louise Hay, we have a treatment, a spiritual treatment we're going to do together right now. I'm going to ask everyone to take your right hand, put it over your throat. The power center in yoga, the color blue. I have the will to change. Together. I have a will to change. Your left hand. I have the will to grow.
I have the will to grow.
Right hand on left hand. I have the will to be joyful.
I have the will to be joyful.
Oh, we need to say that one again. I have the will to be joyful.
I have the will to be joyful.
One more time. I have the will to be joyful.
I have the will to be joyful.
For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there I am, the healing presence is in the midst. Sometimes when you think about 2 or 3, for some reason I'm thinking about the Battle Creek community. Miles apart, Priscilla Singer called me one day and said, Professor John, it's time for you to go to ministerial school. Where 2 or 3 are gathered, it doesn't matter the distance in spirit, time, and distance doesn't matter. Time and distance. You have a dear one, you want to pray for them, you want to bless them. Close your eyes. You're right there with them. Where 2 or 3, 2 or more are gathered together. Those children, those grandchildren, I had prayed, Lord, 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 I want to see my children grow up and finish high school. I want to see them finish college. I want to see them attend a Unity Church where I'm speaking. And she was here last Sunday or the Sunday before. Our youngest daughter was here. Yes. Laugh away your fears, for where 2 or 3 are gathered together, there I am, the I am presence is. All right. And again, now I'm going to thank Unity Principle number 4. Through prayer and meditation, we align our heart-mind with God. Affirmations and denials are the tools we use. Now, in our bio, you're going to see that Michelle and I, because we are a team, we have presented this lesson at over 20 different Unity churches, from Palmdale, California, Sacramento, to West Palm Beach, California, or Miami Beach, Florida area. In Michigan, oh my goodness, so many churches. By the way, Michelle is a member of what's called the World Laughter Tour. So she's a bona fide and certified laughter leader. We're going to have her come up one last time before we prepare to close. Michelle, you need one more. Oh, I like the one about Hawaii. There's something about Hawaii.
I'm really into relationship jokes.
Yes.
I don't know what that's about.
Yes.
So this is a story about a loving couple who were celebrating their 40th anniversary.
Yes.
They were both 60 years old. That's so important. They were both 60 years of age. Anyway, they went to a lovely restaurant. And all of a sudden, as they were finishing their meal, having their dessert, a fairy appeared in the middle of the table and said, I want to congratulate you on your 40th anniversary. I just think it's so wonderful that you've been so loyal and devoted to each other for so long. I'm going to grant you each a wish. So they thought for a second. And my wife, yeah, you heard this one, have you? Okay. So the wife says, I have always wanted to go to Hawaii. Always wanted to go to Hawaii. Fairy says, poof! And on the table appeared 2 first-class tickets to fly to Hawaii. All of the information that they needed for a hotel and vouchers for all their meals. And so she turned to the husband and she said, and what would you like for your 40th anniversary? And he said, well, she's got her trip to Hawaii. I want a wife who's 30 years younger than I am. And poof, he was 90 years old.
Thank you, Michelle. Wow. Be careful what you wish for. That affirmative prayer, be careful, be careful, be careful. Yes, yes, yes. Some of you have been asking a question, why yoga and why Reiki? My surgeon, by the way, Lakshmi Pati Karetti, a member of the medical team, he said to me, now you know you have this maybe tendency, it might become a tendency to have, by the way, I learned this doing a workshop in Palmdale, that a person sitting in the workshop said, yes, I had the surgery a surgery, but it came back later. He or she who refreshes others oftentimes gets refreshed. That's in the Bible. So sometimes it's not just the giving, it's the getting back. Lakshmi Pathy took me into the hallway and he said, now this situation can be changed and blessed. And he told me alternative therapies, alternative healing modalities, chair yoga, Reiki, and the like. So I'm becoming kind of quiet here. I don't want to become quiet because the truth is, it's a beautiful day in my consciousness. With me, 3 times. It's a beautiful day in my consciousness. One more time. It's a beautiful day in my consciousness. One last time. It's a beautiful day in my consciousness. And so it is, dear ones. Infinite blessings to each and every one, no matter what that struggle or trial you're facing right now. Employment, relationships, finances, know that it's a beautiful day. And your good is on the way. And so it is. Let the church say amen. Amen. All right. Thank you very much, sunshine. Oh, thank you. Yes.
Okay, now's the time for our offering and